Let's turn to Matthew chapter 14. We read first of all about how Jesus fed the 5,000 men, not to mention women and children. Jesus tells the disciples, go over to the other side. And so we'll pick it up in Matthew 14, verse 22. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. So that's how this incident starts. The disciples have been put in the boat about 6 o'clock in the evening, and they're rowing. They get a certain distance, far away from the shore, but not far enough to get anywhere they want to go. And they're having a miserable time. The wind and waves are against them. This continues till 4 in the morning. So they have been in this boat for 10 hours, 6 in the evening till 4 in the morning, and all they're doing is rowing. These poor disciples are slogging away, rowing this boat, getting really nowhere, and Jesus just abandoned them, it seems, and they're stuck there. So some of you may have come this morning, and you'll be thinking, you're in a situation where you're doing the best you can, you're working hard, but you're not getting anywhere. Everything's against you. There may be issues with your health or your finances, could be problems with relationships, problems with work, all sorts of things. And we can be slogging away doing the best we can. And that's how these disciples were. Matthew is an interesting character. Before he started following Jesus, he was a tax collector. And so he is reporting this. But he's not reporting it based on what people have told him. He is actually in the boat. So what follows next is not just some sort of story. It's the eyewitness account of a man who knew how to keep records accurately. This incident is reported by a man called Matthew. The disciples have been struggling through the night, and when they see this apparition walking on the water, they're even more frightened. This apparition appears, and they think this is a ghost. But Jesus says, don't be afraid, it is I. It doesn't matter what storm you're going through, what difficulties you're facing, Jesus will always come to you in the storm. He's like that. He's concerned for us. He's committed to us. He wants the best for us. And he sometimes knows that we'll only understand things when we actually go through these trials. And we've been through a fair number of trials ourselves, and you look back on them, and they were awful at the time, I have to say that. But now we look back, we can say, well, God did mean it for good. At the time, it's hard to say that. So these disciples see Jesus coming. And it's important for us to understand this, because we would like Jesus just to tell us to do things which are within our capacity, within our experience, not too challenging. But Jesus wants us to do the exceptional things. He wants us to walk on water. I believe it's a great picture of what the Lord has for us in life. We can be those who, like the other disciples, we sit back, we stay in the boat, the fellowship, whatever we want to call it. We stay there and we don't step out and take the risks. God is challenging us to be those who take risks. So, you've got to get out of the boat, because sometimes life is a boat. We can be so busy just living life that we are doing it without Jesus. And Jesus says, I'm coming to help you in life, and he will do that for you. So that's the first thing to say. But then to say, well, what else? What else comes after that? And one of the scriptures which I love is in Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. He knows the plans he has for you. So I want you to say back to me, God has plans for me. But there are people here who've got ideas. And maybe the Lord's already spoken to you. Maybe you should be doing this or doing that. And he said, no, that'll never work. You don't know. My friend used to say, you'll never know unless you have for good.